Hey guys, welcome to today's reading. This one is all about how your person really feels about you. We're going to get into all their deep emotions, feelings, thoughts towards you. And today we have a selection of different paintings for you to choose from. So if you're new to this channel, welcome. I'm so happy to have you. Basically, you're going to see which of these paintings is sticking out to you, calling your name, drawing your attention in towards it. And then as soon as you make up your mind to scroll down to the timestamps in the comments and the description and jump right into your pile. By the way, I always recommend you choose based on the energy, the same way you would decide for any other pick a card reading, not necessarily the painting you find the prettiest or the one you would stare at a gallery, but the one that's energy is pulling you towards it. By the way, if you like how I read tarot and you want to see more of my content, then be sure to check out my Patreon. I just posted a reading all about what people have realized about you, and it's either already up or about to be posted, but one about your past life connection with this person, whether they're a twin flame, if you know them from past lives, what karma you have with your person. There are over 90 exclusive readings you'll only get access to when you sign up for Patreon, and you also get early and ad-free access to all my YouTube videos. So if that sounds good to you and you're interested in signing up, head to the link underneath the timestamps in the comments and the description and join me on Patreon. Also, if you're interested in booking a private session with me, you can do that at my website, briarrosetarot.com. Link for that is in my description. Whether you want a tarot reading, an astrology reading, a channeling session, or a combination of all three, you can customize your reading so it's right for you, get it pre-recorded, get it live, and really choose what you want us to focus on. Like I said, the link for that is in my description. So that's about all I have to say, guys. Now, if you need more time to decide, you can totally feel free to rewind, pause, and take as much time as you need, but we're going to go ahead and jump into pile one. Hey, pile one, welcome to your reading. Let's get into your cards and see how this person is feeling for you. How is this person feeling for pile one? Coming apart, Dragon's Lair. How is this person feeling for pile number one? Balancing act. I'm hearing that this person is on their best behavior for you. Like, it feels like they really stress to try to make a good impression. And it feels like they really worry about sometimes how you're going to perceive them. Like, it's almost like if someone else said, oh, that's a weird t-shirt or whatever, they wouldn't care. But if you said anything slightly critical about something they're wearing or something they're doing, it would hit them really hard. And I feel like with this person, it could even be a vibe where they're not being completely honest with you about who they are. I'm not going to lie. Like, if we pulled the tarot and we got the 5 and 7 of swords, I might be a little worried, just because I feel like sometimes this person, they're trying so hard to put their best foot forward that sometimes they're not capable of really telling you how it is and really being upfront and honest about who they are. I feel like sometimes they put on a little bit of a mask, and we can see these masks in this coming apart card, to try to really impress you. And what I'm getting with Dragon's Lair is this person sees you as their soft place to land. They see you as their home. You know what I mean? They feel very deeply connected to you, and also it's almost like they look up to you. It's like they kind of put you on a pedestal a little bit, and I feel like they really worry about doing something that would sabotage things between you or would ruin your opinion of them. That keeps them up at night. The idea of you walking away, I feel like in a way this person sees you as so competent and successful and just such a overall catch that it's almost like they can't believe they have you, or they can't believe they get to be around you. They can't believe you exist, For them, I feel like they kind of check themselves of wait, what is going on? Is this real? And they might doubt and have second guesses, and they might get really jealous at times because of that, because there's a part of them that doesn't know if they believe you, and in their mind, or if they can believe you. And yeah, in their mind, you seem like you should be with someone who's a 10 out of 10, completely amazing, rich, perfect person or something. And I feel like it does bring out their insecurities. I feel like this person has tried to like improve themselves for you, tried to get better, tried to work on themselves. But they're still kind of saying like, I'm not perfect yet. And as much as I try to put my best foot forward, like, I don't know how fully honest it is of this person, because I feel like that other side of them almost is always wanting to come out. You know, like there's a side to them that they kind of hide away from you. They don't show you everything because they really do want to make a good impression on you. But of course, depending on what they're hiding, that could be bad. Like, you know, that could be a point of concern, I guess. So we'll have to pull more cards and see. But I feel like there's a part of them that definitely puts on some good behavior around you. And again, that's not always a bad thing. I think it's normal if you really like someone that you're going to like show them your best side. But I just feel like for them, they really, really, really like, if they tripped over something in front of you, they'd be like mortified and think about it for weeks, you know? Or if they like, you know, used the wrong word, like messed up a vocabulary word and mispronounced something or whatever, I feel like that, like it would drive them crazy. Like they definitely worry about how you perceive them. Encouragement. I feel like this person really has a deep love for you. Like it's very deep. It's very intense. Movement. And I feel like this person is serious about you and would want to move things forward. At the very minimum, like they want things to move forward in terms of a relationship or a physical relationship. Of course, they could still be, you know, first, I'm not going to lie, this energy concerns me a little bit. And I could see certain like F-boys or avoidant attachment people who like get obsessed with someone and then move on. So if you've been with this person for a while and you've known them for a while, then I wouldn't worry about that, because if this energy has happened for, you know, months now or weeks, many weeks, then, or years, then it's a different situation and you can probably trust and rely on it. If it's like very early or the relationship hasn't gotten that deep, then I would worry that this person is the kind of person that sometimes can't get deep, because it feels like they feel so intensely about you. But I also feel like it's almost like sometimes they don't view you as like a real person. Like they view you as so perfect, and it almost worries me of like, what would happen after the first fight, or what would happen when they see that you have flaws, or when you're really tired one day and you're kind of grumpy, or you don't look that great because like you didn't sleep well and you didn't have time to do your makeup or something like that. And would it shatter this person's illusions? Because I feel like they really, like their emotions for you are so strong, but sometimes this can be hard to sustain in terms of like a long-term relationship. Sometimes you can. Sometimes you see these couples that are obsessed with each other and they still put each other on such a pedestal after years. But it would worry me a little if this is like early, that this person is the kind that maybe they can't get that deep, or maybe they're not okay with flaws or seeing like underneath the hood. You know what I mean? Let's get into some tarot for pile one. We want to know how this person really feels about pile number one. How does this person really feel about pile number one? Okay, so we got the 10 of Wands. Ooh, the 2 of Cups. Ooh, the 4 of Wands. Yeah, this person really likes you. And again, with the 10 of Wands, it's like they are doing everything for you. They feel like they have really... Oh, the 5 of Wands. Okay. 5 of Wands reversed. Yeah, I was mentioning the 5 of Swords as a card that would give me concern, but the 5 of Wands is different. But anyway, we'll get into that. But yeah, so the 10 of Wands, definitely I feel like this person has, or they're saying they've been doing everything for you. Like they really, you might not even notice how much they're doing to try to win you over. Like I feel like this person really feels almost like you're the one. Like they really feel like you're so special. And I feel like this person kind of like craves your attention, craves being around you. Like they can't get enough of you. They feel like they need you. Like it feels like a need, like a deep need and a deep want that they have for you. And I feel like when they can't see you for a couple days, or, you know, they maybe you're out of town or whatever. This person really, really misses you, and it kind of drives them crazy. Like, I'm hearing, I need to touch you, I need to be around you, I need to smell you. That's kind of creepy, but that's what I'm hearing. I feel like they get kind of antsy. Like, it's in a way, you help soothe their mood. We even got the King of Cups reversed. And, the King of Cups upright shows emotional regulation. It shows when we're emotionally balanced. And I feel like with it being reversed, again, that's kind of how this person is when they're away from you. It's like you're their sense of calm or peace. And when they don't get to be around you, it kind of makes them go a little crazy. It kind of like drives them up a wall. There's a part of them that I feel like they feel like so much better when they can be around you. They feel such a deep sense of connection to you that almost like doesn't make sense to them. They kind of don't understand why they feel so strongly or why they feel this intense craving for you, that it's almost like no one else can compare to. No one else can soothe them or make this person feel okay the way you can. Like, I feel like you're their calmness, you're their safe space, you're their like warm hug at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And maybe for some of you guys, this person could actually see marrying you with the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands can be a marriage card. As you can see on this deck, they really kind of show this on this deck. It kind of looks like a marriage ceremony, or I think in Judaism, this could be like a chuppah. How do you, chuppah? I don't know. I don't think I can pronounce it right, but like, there's a lot of different cultures where you have this little thing that you stand underneath during a wedding. And so definitely the Four of Wands can be a wedding and represents a wedding in a lot of the different decks. I also can interpret it sometimes as like a fun card, like just this person is so much fun. I'll see it sometimes in piles where maybe it's not that serious of a relationship. So you're like, maybe this person could see them as marriage material, but also it could be just, this person is so much fun. I love being around this person. This person is just the kind of person that puts a smile on my face. But I also feel like this person does see you as like marriage material. Usually when I get the Four of Wands, I do interpret it as like, okay, this person, whether they're ready for marriage or not, they may see you as like, oh, this is a marriage material type of partner. This is the real thing. But yeah, I feel like with this person, you might not be seeing all of them because we got the Five of Wands reversed. So again, this person might be avoiding fights, might be avoiding conflict, which of course is a good thing. But sometimes it's like when someone's on their best behavior, you're not going to see the full version of them. It's kind of like how they say you never know someone until you go on a trip with them and you have to share a hotel room with them, right? And then you see like the full version of them, because it's very different, dating someone and maybe you see them like 3 times a week and you're out at a nice restaurant and maybe you go back to their place after, but then you guys spend the night together and then part. It's very different from like the day in, day out. You just woke up, you're grumpy, they woke up, they're grumpy. Then you guys have to go down to the hotel breakfast together and you're bickering in the elevator. Like, that's a very different experience than like, oh yeah, I stay over at their place a couple nights a week and then I go back to my place. Or we go on a date a couple nights a week and then, that's like 2 hours and then we leave. Like, yeah, so I feel like that saying is very true, that you never know someone until you vacation with them or live with them. And I just feel like this person might be really putting on like a nice vibe for you, which again is totally normal. I'm not saying it's a red flag. It could be a green flag that this person is so into you, but it's the only thing that would kind of give me pause, is I feel like sometimes this person is so obsessed with making a good impression that it's almost like they can't be as honest with you. Let's get some more cards for pile number 1. Okay, we got the Devil and the Nine of Pentacles. So I'm not surprised we're getting the Devil, because that was an energy I was picking up on. And some people really freak out when they get the Devil card and they think it's like automatically like the end of the world, which is a super Judeo-Christian interpretation of things. And it's not really how the Rider-Waite or other decks were intended in tarot, because they're kind of based off of a different theology. So the devil isn't necessarily as terrifying as people may think. But it can indicate like bad behavior, addictions, traumas, whatever. And that's the only thing is I feel like this person, it almost feels like they're addicted to you or they're obsessed with you. And of course, this is a general reading, so it's intended to be, you know, for multiple people. So one person's obsessed is that it could be expressed beautifully. Like, they're obsessed with me, they treat me so well, it's this beautiful connection, and we feel so deeply for each other. But if someone has, say, some shadow work they haven't done and they're obsessed, it could be dangerous. And you have to take that with what resonates for you. But I feel like this person is like low-key obsessed with you. I feel like this person really is so drawn to you. And I feel like they might really feel like you're the one. I think I said that already, but I feel like they think about you all the time. And it's like they can't imagine being with anyone else or you being with anyone else. I feel like they dream about you, think about you all the time. They're so drawn to you. Yeah, they're kind of like addicted. You know, the devil card can show literal addictions. And I feel like this person just feels like they can't get enough. I'm hearing that song, Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. But I feel like this person keeps almost thinking in their mind that like they will get enough of you and they will get sick of you. And like, let me just see them again. And, you know, they're going to do something and then I'm going to lose interest. And it just like never happens. And it's just like complete and total, like, being drawn to you on such a deep, deep, deep level. Nine of Pentacles as well. I feel like this is, again, that vibe of this person showing their best foot forward with you and wanting to like earn more, wanting to impress you, wanting to bring their A game to the table, wanting to charm you. You know, the Nine of Pentacles is a very luxurious, it's also a successful energy. It's kind of like that beautiful, I mean, you can see in this, like, this is like a beautiful garden with a golden gazebo, and it's probably in like a Italian palazzo or something. Like, it's this beautiful scene, and I feel like this person kind of wants to be able to impress you by doing something like that. Not necessarily that they're only fixated on financial stuff, but I feel like overall they want to like give you the best. They want to charm you. They want to show off to you. They want you to be like blown out of the water, like, wow, this is so amazing. Also, the Nine of Pentacles can be an energy about kind of like work paying off, dreams coming true, a goal you set happening. And I feel like this person feels very goal oriented about you. They may be setting goals that you're like not even aware of. Like, they might have an idea of like, I'm going to propose to you, or I want to marry you. And they might not be willing to say that yet. Obviously, if it's like early dating, they might be afraid of scaring you off. But I feel like this person is working towards like certain goals to impress you or to lock things down with you. Like, they really, really, really like you and care about you. Let's get some of these cards for pile number 1. How do they feel about pile number 1? How does this person feel about pile number 1? Manifestation, blessings, confidence, prosperity, and let's get 2 more. Beauty, and 1 more. Okay, we got 2 more. So this one says psychic abilities and spirit guide. So they may feel very connected with you on the astral plane as well. And look at all the positive cards. Like, we have the whole array. Like, I feel like we've got the looks, we got the money, we got the beauty, we've got the personality. Like, there's every base covered. And I really feel like that sums up this kind of overall enthusiasm that this person has for you. Like, they just feel like you've got it all. Like, I just feel like it's like no reservations. Like, this person is just kind of all in. The only thing they're saying is some of you guys might have a temper or be very feisty, and sometimes that makes this person concerned, but I also feel like it makes them want to live up to it, want to step up to the plate and like impress you and show you everything they can do for you. I also feel like this person does feel like this spiritual connection with you, and also feels like you guys maybe are connected in past lifetimes, and maybe you've known each other in other lifetimes or something like that. I feel like they feel this deep spiritual drawing to you. By the way, I I think it will already be posted by the time this video goes up, but on my Patreon, I'm going to do a video about, do you know this person from a past life? What is your soul connection to them? Like, is there a twin flame connection? So if you are curious about this, you might check my Patreon, and it's either already posted or it's going to be imminently posted. If you're curious also about that, like, did we know each other in a past life? Do we have some kind of soul contract? We're going to get deep into that on that video. But anyway, yeah, so I feel like this person feels that spiritual, like, being drawn to you. Like, they really feel like they, like I said, have known you in a past life. And also, like, they, like, it almost feels like a sibling, which I often get with twin flames, like that, because I always feel like no one knows each other like you know your siblings. Like, I have 3 siblings, and you know, the way you can just look at a sibling and you just need to give each other a look, and either they'll get mad at you or they'll start laughing. Like, no one will get the same inside jokes, or no one has the same knowledge. No one knows what happened to you in 7th grade. No friend, no like lover or partner can know you the way your siblings know you, just because they saw you grow up. So they know all your traumas, they know all your deepest wounds and your greatest joys, and your, you know, the cringy version of you were as a kid before you learned that, like, it's not okay to interrupt family functions and sing into a hairbrush and make everyone sit and watch you dance around to, like, Britney Spears. You know, this cringe stuff you do as a kid, like that version of you that you eventually realize that, like, oh, I need to stop doing this. This is embarrassing. Your siblings know you on that level, and so there's this deep acceptance with them and this kind of knowledge they have of you. And I often feel like twin flames have that same thing because they knew you in a past life. And yeah, I feel like this person feels like they really know you and you know them. Like, they feel like you know them so well, and I feel like it makes them want to step up to the plate more. But I'm hearing also no one can trigger them the way you trigger them, and that's why also it might sometimes worry me, like, if, you know, sometimes when someone's like obsessed, it can bring out the worst in them, but also it depends. It's a general reading. Take what resonates, leave it the rest. For most of the people, you know, it's not going to be a problem, and you want someone to be like obsessed with you. You want someone to be so drawn to you. I feel like they see you just as this huge blessing, and just as someone that they'll always want around them in some capacity. And they really do look up to you. Like, I feel like they kind of see you as very wise and see you as someone that they can really learn from. Like, they want to not become you, but like become someone you could respect, either by earning more money, which we've gotten some cards that allude to that, like this prosperity card, the 9 of Pentacles, trying to earn more money so that you might be impressed with them, or trying to mature, or trying to grow up more. But yeah, I feel like this person is very much like, wanting to be the best version of themselves so that you can also like get close to them in that way. Let's get some of these cards for pile number 1. How does pile 1 person feel about them? The Spiral Dancer, circuitous route, perception. The Ringmaster of Scrutiny, discernment, clear vision, details. The Camel Boy, small steps, asking for help. And the Diamond Dreamer, material wealth, true prosperity. Again, with the emphasis on money. So this person may be really trying to build up their finances so that they can be on your level, or so that they can impress you. I feel like with them as well, they see you as very, very smart. Like, they love hearing you talk about things, is what I'm hearing. They love hearing you speak on things. Like, I feel like they think of you as a very deep thinker, and as someone who has a lot to say, and as someone who's just very interesting, like very fascinating to them. Someone that they could just listen to talk for like hours. And they probably, when they hear something happen, like, they want to get your opinion on it. You know how sometimes you'll hear a news story, and maybe you had a friend that like hated a certain celebrity, and then news breaks about them, and the first thing that pops in your mind is that friend, and you want to call them up and tell them like, oh my God, did you hear that? Or they love a celebrity, so, you know, something happens with that celebrity, or whatever topic, they know about a topic, and you just want to get their opinion. And I feel like that's how this person is about you with everything. Like, anything that happens, their mind flashes to you, and they just kind of like want to know, what do you think? What do you have to say? Like, I feel like there's this endless curiosity about your mind as well, and about your perception of things. Like, they think of you as someone that's so unique. And also, I am getting a jealousy vibe. The spiral dancer is reminding me of jealousy a lot. See the way she's, you know, in this beautiful but maybe more revealing outfit, and she just looks very sexy, probably is a sexy dancer and has some great moves. But I feel like there's a vibe of this person, like if they could kind of hide you away, they would, because I feel like they see you as such a prize and so beautiful that, like, the idea of others seeing you, they're like, I know they would fall in love instantly too. And that just drives them crazy. The idea that other people would notice you and would want to come up to you or would want to be around you. And you might like them back and you might fall in love, like that just drives them up a freaking wall. I feel like they feel so connected to you. And there's also this very deep, intense sense of, like, very honestly, it's insecurity on their part, like not knowing if they're on your level and worrying that someone else might be more on your level, worrying that someone else might, you know, be able to sweep you off your feet or have more to offer you than they do. And I feel like for them, it's a very upsetting thought, like, because they don't feel as stable, because we got the Diamond Dreamer, another money card, like they may be worried about their money situation when it comes to you. They may see you as so top tier that they're just convinced that, like, you should be dating, you know, a billionaire or something, or you should be dating like a famous movie star or a professional athlete or something. And for them, you know, it bothers them that they're not on that level yet, and it might motivate them to work hard. But I also feel like, yeah, there is a little jealousy because of that insecurity, because of the fact that they don't feel fully ready yet, or they don't feel fully as good in comparison to you, that does drive them a little crazy, thinking about if someone else saw them and came up to them and then impressed them, and then pile number one ran off with them, like, what would I do? That would just be the most upsetting thing. So yeah, there is that. I feel like, though, it is motivating a lot of these people, though, to work harder, to do better. So it's not necessarily a bad thing that they feel this way. It's not necessarily the end of the world. I just think it makes them not as able to, like I said, show you their most transparent and honest self, because there is that vibe and that energy of really having to present to you the best version instead of just the truly honest truth. And let's also get some of these cards for you, pile number one. You want to know how pile one's person really feels about them. How does pile one's person really feel about them? Whale song, resonating. Closing door, completion. Stranger, curiosity. And let's get one. Okay, two more cards. I have the needle, intentionality, and me talk, repairing the body, mind, spirit. So you might be inspiring them as well to do like some shadow work, to work on themselves, to push themselves into the best version of themselves. Again, I feel like sometimes that insecurity, it's not always a bad thing. It can make them work harder and make them better and try more and bring out their gifts more maybe than they would have if they just didn't have this motivation. I feel like this person wants to, like, know everything about you. Like, if they could kind of crawl under your skin, I know that sounds creepy, but they would. Like, they really want to know everything about you. They really want to be able to know all your secrets, know your story. No, they don't want you to be hiding anything from them. Like, they're so curious about you. They're so endlessly, like, fascinated by you. You know, it's like they could, you know, there's that saying, like, oh, I could listen to so-and-so read the phone book. Like, I feel like that's how this person feels about you. Like, everything you do kind of fascinates them and turns them on. Even your gestures, even your movements, the tone of your voice, all of it. I feel like for them, they don't feel like this is complete yet. Like, there's something that just keeps them coming back to you. There's something that they just can't. I'm hearing that song Last Night by Morgan Wallen, where it's like, last night we let the liquor talk, and basically saying, you know, we can't move on. Even though we've tried, we kind of got drunk and confessed our feelings to each other. And I feel like there's that vibe that maybe even one or both of you have tried to move on, or there's times when maybe they've told themselves like, I'm done, or I'm dating someone else, or whatever. And then they just can't scratch that itch with that other person. They can't get that same high that they get from you. And that's why I say sometimes it feels like a little bit of an addiction. Like it feels like they just are like so drawn to the highs and lows. They're so drawn to this roller coaster, and they really, like, even if they try to seek out someone else, even if they're trying to distract themselves, like it just doesn't work. And that is the concern, is that it might turn a little bit toxic. It might be a little bit of a vibe of like an addict who just like keeps coming back for more. And of course, just like with a real addict, you're not going to be the best version of yourself when you feel tied to something. It almost can turn into something where you resent that person, or you feel like, oh, this person has a power over me, and you start resenting them for that. I feel like for them, they may have tried to leave you behind. They may have tried to get you out of their mind, and they just can't do it. They just can't get you out of their head. You know, it's like this. I keep coming back to the word addiction. That's just what keeps popping into my mind. I feel like for them, you know, I'm also hearing the vibe of like with that whale song, how there's like the loneliest whale in the world that always sings its song at a certain decibel or whatever, and no other whales can hear it. And so like whales sing in the same decibel for their same species or breed or whatever it is. I don't know. Anyway, the type of whale that this whale is, like no one else, it's the only one left. So even though it's always singing its song trying to attract another whale, it's just pointless because there's no other whales that are the same breed or whatever you want to call it as this whale. And so they're not going to be able to hear it or respond or anything. And so it's just singing alone. It's kind of sad, but anyway, I feel like this person, you know, it's almost like they felt like they were singing that song alone and they didn't have anyone answering it until you came around. And then it's like, oh my God, this person understands me. This person gets me. This person is resonating in the same vibration as me. And I feel our energies are so aligned. And I feel like that is just addictive to this person. Like they really can't get enough of it. You know, that for them is so, so powerful. So yeah, I feel like for them, this is something, if they are into you, the answer is definitely yes. They are super, super into you. They have very, very strong feelings for you, pile one. That shouldn't even be a question. Like, I assume you can just sense this intensity and this energy from them. They are very, very into you. They really care. So that is what I have for you, pile one. If you want to see more of my readings, head on over to my Patreon. There are over 90 exclusive readings. I just posted one all about what people have realized about you. So great if you want to know how people's opinions of you have changed. But there are so many other readings. Like I said, over 90 exclusive readings. You also get early and ad-free access to all my YouTube videos. So there's a lot of content to go through. If you're interested in that and it sounds good to you, head to the link underneath the timestamps in the comments in the description and join me on Patreon. Also, if you're interested in booking a private session with me, go to my website, briarrosetarot.com. Whether you want tarot, astrology, just channeling, or a combination of all three, you can book a session with me, whether you want pre-recorded or live. You get to really customize your reading so it's right for you. So like I said, go to my website, briarrosetarot.com. Link for that is in my description. Thank you for watching, guys. I'm sending you so much love and light, and I will see you again very soon in another reading. Take care, guys. Bye. Hey, pile two, welcome to your reading. Let's get into your cards and see how this person feels about you. So we got gentle gardener, cleaning house, wishing well, and let's get one more card for you, pile number two. How does this person feel about pile two? Heal the ouch. I feel like this person feels almost like they can kind of come home to you. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting for some of them a little bit of like almost a friend vibe, but not that they only see you as a friend for a lot of you, But it's like if you guys are dating, this is like you guys can laugh together, you guys can have fun together, you guys can have really great conversation together. Maybe you enjoy the same things. And I feel like this person, it's almost like they just get a kick out of you, or they can relax about around you in a way that they maybe can't around other people. Like it feels like you're their soft place to land. You are their warm hug or something. You know what I mean? Like it's like I can really be honest with this person and I can kind of let loose with them and relax and be myself in a way that maybe is really hard for me with other people. Maybe I always have to put up a wall with other people in my life and I always have to be on my best behavior and show them a version of myself. But when I'm around pile two, I can really unleash and relax and just be who I really am. And I feel like that's such a relief to this person. It also feels like they can trust you and they feel emotionally safe around you. I feel like that's really big for them, is like they feel like they can let their guard down and they feel safe. And I think that's really big. I was actually hearing like a married couple, and they've been married like 20 something years or whatever. And the guy was saying why he, loved her or whatever. And he said, I can feel safe around her. And I feel like, yeah, we sometimes don't talk about that. We talk about the butterflies in love or the nervousness, but one of the deepest things is that feeling of safety. And that's how this person feels to me. Like it feels like they feel like they can turn to you and just tell you whatever, and you would accept them. You would be okay with it. And they may find themselves being more honest with you than they bargained for, is what I'm hearing. So it's almost like that time when you just end up pouring your heart out with someone. You just end up telling them all your details, all your drama, maybe some secrets that you haven't told anyone else. And you just find yourself like unloading to them because they feel, like I said, like a safe place for you in a way that maybe other people don't. And maybe after the interaction, you look back and you're like, oh my God, why did I tell them all that? Like, why did I get into that? But in the moment, like it's just almost, you can't avoid it. You just feel so like drawn. You just feel so open to them and comfortable with them that you can't help it, and you end up telling them absolutely everything. I also feel like this person is acknowledging that you've helped them a lot, and it might also be up on the astral plane that you've helped them a lot. Not just in the real world, although of course that could be the case as well. But I feel like on the astral plane, you've given them a lot of emotional support. Like you've really helped them get through some hard times, and maybe you've just sent them love from afar, or sent them acceptance from afar, or maybe just the idea of you and just the fact that they know that there's someone who exists out there in the world who gets them and understands them and cares about them in the way you do. But either way, I feel like this person is just coming forward to kind of thank you, especially their higher self is coming forward to thank you and to say like, it's really helped this person in a way. It's almost like you've made them feel less alone. And I think in a world where a lot of us feel alone sometimes, or might feel like, oh, I'm the only one who thinks this, or no one is going to get me or whatever, I feel like that has really done a lot for this person's confidence and kind of encouraged them to keep going in many ways. Like sometimes it is a tough world and it can feel hard when you just feel like no one understands you. And I feel like even if you haven't interacted with them in a while, just the fact that they met someone like you that they feel like they can really finally get along with and finally open up to has done wonders for this person and has really, really deeply helped them. I also feel like I'm getting a message for some of them that they're like not ready or not in a place in their life for a relationship. And they want to let you know that, not in a way that is painful, or it's not like, oh, pile two isn't good enough. I feel like this person is working through a lot, and one of the reasons why you were supposed to meet them has to do with this kind of need you had to like give them that message, like this healing energy, and the fact that they did need this so much. But it's almost like they still have quite a bit more shadow work to do. They still have quite a bit more working through their own issues and dealing with certain mental blocks they have. It's almost like this person may have low self-esteem, or may have an idea of themselves as like not that great. And so I feel like that makes it hard for them to be in a relationship, because whenever they sense someone getting really close, they tend to run away from it. And I feel like if anything, you're kind of the exception to that. Like they really felt so close with you that it made them be like, maybe I can get over this, or maybe I would want a relationship. But I feel like ultimately the kind of fears won out, and the panic and the like feelings of lack of self-worth won out. And so they ended up running away from it. And that's probably not going to change anytime soon. Like they're still in this vibe of kind of protecting themselves. And I feel like this person, like that's what they want you to know. It's definitely not you. Like I feel like they got closer to you than they got to anyone. And they felt so much more with you than they felt with anyone. But it's really deep-seated. It's not something that can be easily fixed, or that they can just snap their fingers and like get over it. I feel like it has to do with like childhood or even past life. Like it's very, very deep seated, and it's very hard for them to kind of get over it. So yeah, I feel like they are going through that healing journey, and they just want you to know that if they didn't treat you right, or if they did things that were hurtful, please know it's coming from a place of pain. It doesn't have anything to do with you. It's not your fault. And I feel like their higher self is really coming through to acknowledge that this person has made some bad choices that their human self does regret, but their human self is too ego driven to admit that or to acknowledge that. Their human self doesn't want to say that, because if they did, it would really shatter their self-identity that's already kind of weak and fragile. So they have to cling on to this attitude of like, I didn't do anything wrong, I don't care. And that's the only thing like keeping them going. And if they let go of that, they feel like it would be the end of the world. So they're not going to do that right now. They're going to keep on trucking, keep on moving. And they just want you to know that it's definitely not anything you did. It's not anything you caused in like a negative way. I mean, I guess you caused it in that you brought out all this emotion from this person and you scared them because they did feel a connection with you, but it's not something that you did that's negative. So let's get into some tarot cards for you. Pile number 2. We want to know how this person feels about pile number 2. How this person feels. Okay, so we got the King of Swords reversed. So this person really may feel like they can't reach out. They can't say how they feel. I'm hearing this person say, I'm not good with words, or I'm not the best with words. Like I feel like in a way they have a hard time, or they feel really clumsy when it comes to explaining themselves. This person may feel much more comfortable in the realm of like physicality. Maybe they're an athlete. Maybe they just express love more through the physical, like physical touch might be their love language or something. But I feel like they have a really hard time sitting down and being vulnerable and telling you like what they're thinking, or telling you how they're feeling. Like they would almost feel like a chump or a loser. And I feel like there's also this fear that, I don't know, maybe that during childhood, like if they tried to like tell their mom or dad something, their dad would like make fun of them or be like, man up, or I don't know. But I feel like whenever they're trying to get vulnerable or trying to like, you know, say their feelings, it just triggers all this deep-seated fear. It triggers this feeling of course they're going to run away. They're going to make fun of me. I feel so pathetic. And it's like this person, as soon as they needed to tell you what was going on, I feel like that's when the panic really set in. It's almost like the moment they realized their emotions for you, that's what made them run. Instead of that being a beautiful moment for them of like, oh my God, I think I'm in love. It was like, oh my God, I think I'm in love. Let me sabotage it. And I feel like when the emotions get strong, that's when this person wants to run. That's when this person wants to flee, get out of here, get away as soon as possible, as far as possible. So yeah, I feel like they have so much to say, but their human self is acknowledging like, I'm just really bad at it. I'm really bad at talking. I'm really bad at communicating. And again, their higher self wants you to know it's nothing to do with you. It's not a capability that this person like has or doesn't have that they could turn on demand. Like they just don't have it, whether it's talking to you, whether it's talking to like the Queen of England or the King of England, I guess now, or whoever. Like this person couldn't do it. If they're, you know, if they were paid $1 million, they probably still couldn't do it. They're just not good at communicating. And I feel like that even in itself, that self-belief also makes them feel more insecure about it. Like even if they were to start typing out their feelings, I feel like they'd be like, oh, this sounds so stupid. she's not going to want to read this. And it's like almost a self-fulfilling prophecy. This person feels very helpless when it comes to expressing their emotions. And then they get that in their head, like, I'm really bad at expressing myself. And then they might try more, but then they have this inner knowledge that, like, I suck at communicating. So they read it back what they typed out, and then they think this is so stupid. And it's just like this little spiral that this person falls into that just makes them feel worse and worse and worse. And I really feel like this person wants you to know again that it's not your fault and it doesn't have anything to do with you. It has everything to do with this person and their beliefs and their abilities or lack thereof. Let's get some more cards for you. Pile number 2. We want to know how this person feels. Page of Cups. Yeah, they do have those emotions. You know, they do have strong emotions for you, but it's really hard for them to express them or even think of them logically. Look, we got the Page of Cups upright and the King of Pentacles upright. I feel like this person feels much more comfortable in the realm of like the Pentacles energy, the kind of like discipline and logic, and even like having earned money or having a certain position or having power or being dependable, like those kinds of things, like how much money are you making, or what are you doing at your job, or did you take out the trash, is kind of like much easier for this person than telling you their feelings. And they feel like maybe that's how they express love. Like I almost feel like there's a message from them to you about there were times when you thought I didn't care. There were times when you thought I didn't give enough. But the reality is that a lot of that was just not how I express love. Like maybe this person, they don't express love by bringing you flowers and giving you roses and telling you, and chocolate and telling you, you know, deep poetry. But maybe they still feel just as strong. Like maybe there's someone that could give you poetry, but they're an F-boy and a player and they're giving it to a million different girls. I feel like this person's almost saying like, if you look deeply at my actions, you will see how much I cared about you or care about you. But I'm just not the kind of person who can like put it into words and verbalize it. And I'm not that charismatic. But you definitely did bring out their emotions with that Page of Cups upright. I just feel like for them, it's almost a new having to express themselves that way, having to get into their feelings. The Page of Cups is the youngest of all the suit cards. The page is always the youngest. So it really is that energy of like, I'm a beginner at this. Like, I don't know how to express my feelings. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to get vulnerable with you. I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not competent in that. Maybe someone else would be better, but for me, I'm hopeless. And I feel like that, again, just continues to bring down this person's confidence. Let's get some more cards for you. Pile number 2. We want to know how this person really feels about pile 2. We got the 2 of Pentacles and the Judgment card. And let's get one more card for pile number 2. Oh, okay, we got 2 cards. The 5 of Swords, the Hanged Man, and I'm going to get one more. This one is the High Priestess reverse. So I do feel like this person feels like they had a connection with you on the astral plane, and it almost feels like their higher self has been communicating with your higher self. And I feel like in a way that has given you a psychic ability to understand what's going on. Like maybe to a logical person, they might look at the two of you and be like, well, why would they be into you? Or, no, I don't think he's that into you. But your intuition is like, no, I know they care. And again, I feel like their higher self is acknowledging that you were right. And even though this person, another thing about them is they worry very much about their reputation. They worry very much about other people's perception of them. And that's why they don't want to do anything that you could point to in the logical realm and say, oh yeah, they definitely are so into me. They're obsessed with me because they did blah, blah, blah. I feel like that's when this person wants to like hide it away, keep it very secret, obscure it. We got the Hanged Man, which is ruled by Neptune. So they kind of want to like keep everything very oblique and kind of hard to read and not clear. I feel like for them, there's a sense that if they don't ever actually do anything to you in the physical realm or step towards you in the physical realm, that you will not be able to prove to anyone how much they cared about you. Then it's kind of their word against yours. Then they can continue this lie that they don't really care that much, or that they didn't really get their feelings hurt. I feel like you always saw like the wounded part of them. You always could read them so much deeper than anyone else. And you always saw through the BS that they put on for others. I feel like this person, again, cares very much about their reputation and cares very much about looking a certain way for everyone else. And I think that's what excited them about you, but also scared them about you, is you saw past that. You didn't believe the lies. And if they tried to be like, no, I'm fine, I'm good, you might have been like, are you really good today? Or how are you actually feeling? And I feel like on one hand, that's so exciting to this person. It almost feels like coming home, or, you know, seeing an old friend or whatever. It feels like, oh my God, they actually saw, they actually noticed. But then it's also like, oh my God, they actually saw, they actually noticed, and it's kind of frightening for them. So on one hand, your psychic abilities, your empathic abilities, the way you can read them like a book, it does excite them and get them going, but it also scares the heck out of them and makes them just want to run away a million miles an hour. I also feel like this person is saying that they're just not ready yet for something serious. And it may also have to do with other situational factors in their life, like we got the Two of Pentacles reversed. So things just may be very unbalanced for them. They may have a hard time balancing work and their personal life, or school and work, or family, or whatever. But I feel like this person, it almost feels like their energy is at times distracted. And I feel like there's a part of them that almost wants to like put you on the back burner and wants you to just be okay with like, I can't deal with you right now, but I'll be back in a few years, or I'll be back in a few months. And listen, you just wait here and like chill. And yeah, I will come back when I can. And there's kind of this sense that this person does see the value in you as even their human self, and they do see what a great catch you are, but there's also this kind of like procrastinating quality that they have, where I feel like sometimes they don't realize how serious it is, and sometimes they don't realize that you're getting sick and tired and fed up, and you're getting to the point where you're like, if you don't make the move, or if you don't come towards me, I'm gone. And I feel like it just doesn't click for them. They just don't get it. They have this sense that like, I can't deal with this right now, so I'll be back later. And sorry, but like, I know they're gonna wait. Like, kind of like, they might be disappointed now, but like, I'll just check in later. And I almost feel like I could see this being the kind of person that like in the real world doesn't like do a lot to win you over, or doesn't pay you a ton of attention, but then contacts you on the astral plane a lot, thinks of you late at night, like listens to love songs and thinks of you, contacts you 2 years later when you're in a new relationship and admits you were the love of his life. And it's giving me those vibes of like someone that, because it's low-key kind of entitled, like of course they're not doing that on purpose, but it's like, dude, like if that's how you feel, you need to step up now. Like how insulting to even think that pile 2 would be sitting around waiting for you the whole time. And I feel like it just doesn't click with this person. Like they're almost in such inner turmoil that they can't think of you, that they can't even spend any time or energy worrying about you, or like focusing on this, because it almost feels like they're in crisis mode themselves. They have so much more on their plate. Let's get into some of these cards for pile number 2. We want to know how this person feels about pile number 2. So we got animals, talents, let's see, answers, home, and let's get one more, healing. And so like I said at the beginning, you feel like home to this person. Like they feel like they can really rest with you. You might be a member of their soul family or something. I am going to be posting a video on my Patreon, or it may already be up, all about your soul ties with this person and how you know them, whether it's from a past lifetime, what is your soul connection, what is your karmic tie. So either that is probably already up on my Patreon page as of when this video gets posted, but if it's not up right now, it will be posted like very, very soon. So if you want to check that out, feel free to click over on my Patreon page and watch it. But yeah, I feel like this person does feel like you're a sense of home, and maybe you do have a past life connection. Maybe you knew them in another lifetime, and for people who knew each other in another lifetime, it can often feel like coming home. It can often feel like wow, I know this person, or like, this is just so intense. I must have met them in another life. I must have met them before. And even if it's not a conscious thought of like another lifetime, it can be that deep soul knowing that this person is from the same soul tribe as me. This person and I have interacted many times before. You may have even had a soul contract with them that you would help offer them this healing, because in a way, I feel like this person struggled more with their own issues, be they addiction issues, self-worth issues, like love issues, avoidant attachment or anxious attachment, whatever their issues are. I feel like they struggled with them a lot, but it's almost like you're the first person who's come in and really offered that sense of healing, really offered that sense of acceptance that I feel like this person rarely gets. Like this person rarely actually feels like, oh my God, I can actually be open. Someone actually is accepting me as I am. I feel like this person almost thought that like, I'll never experience love, I'll never have anyone accept me, I'll never have anyone care about me. And you really offered up like this window or this door to like, maybe someone else could care about me. Maybe someone else could see me with all my flaws. And instead of hating them or getting angry about them, they might love me despite that. And that has been super, super healing for them. But one thing I don't like is when I try to tune into like, well, what is this person like about you? Or how do they feel about you? I feel like this person constantly brings the conversation back to themselves. I honestly feel like this person is a little bit self-centered, and it's not to say that they're like a horrible, evil person or anything like that. I just think they're so mired in their own pain. They're kind of stuck like in quicksand to their own pain. And so it's very hard for them to see outside of themselves. It's very hard for them to even pay attention to like what you're going through, what you're dealing with, because they're so caught up in their own issues. One thing they are saying is how fun you are, what a great sense of humor you have, and just that it's like a breath of fresh air to be around you. But I also feel like this person has a very hard time like fully seeing you, because it's almost like when they try to get themselves to fully see you, again, that's where the fear and the panic sets in, because it's almost like they have to not look at you in order to deal with you. You know how sometimes they say like, if you want to have a serious conversation with a man, your best bet is to have it in the car or to have it while you're walking next to them, so they won't look you in the eye, because like apparently men hate looking people in the eye, or it feels like a competition to them or something. It feels like a challenge. And so they say if you really want to bring up something serious, like bring it up sitting next to them in the car or walking beside them, and then they'll be able to listen. And so it's like they can't look at you directly because they get too into like fight mode. And so, I mean, men are really ruled by Mars, right? Isn't that funny? But the point is, Mars is the fighting planet. But anyway, the point is that I feel like this person almost has a similar vibe, where if they fully looked at you and took you in and realized everything you have going on, this person would kind of freak out. Like it's almost like they have to just blot it out of their mind how special and rare you are, because if they really were to take in how cool you are, special, different, unique, they would kind of have another panic attack about like, oh my God, what am I doing? And I really like pile number 2. And I feel like because of that, they kind of subconsciously know that. So they kind of mentally put you on the back burner and don't even process you as their way to like maintain that position. Like it's kind of like if you hear, like when you do the high jump at diving and they tell you don't look down, or if you're going bungee jumping, they always say, don't look down. And you kind of have to mentally like, okay, I'm not going to look, I'm just going to, and I feel like that's kind of what this person is doing. Like, it feels like they don't want to acknowledge you. They can see how special you are, but they also want to kind of like pretend for both of you, like, no, you're cool, but it's not that great, because they don't want the power dynamic to be thrown off in the wrong direction. Let's get some of these cards. How does pile number 2's person feel about pile 2? So we got the resting tree, patience, stillness, lady of lightning, surprises, sometimes shock, total paradigm shift, the word Lord, communication, praise, dishonesty. And let's get 2 more. This one says the Horse King, assistance, control, and the Sacred Union, partnership. romance. So yeah, I feel like this person, you know, I could definitely see you being the one that got away for them or something, or them later saying, I don't know what I was doing. Like, she's such a good girl, or he's such a great guy. And I just didn't want to, like, it's almost like they don't want to acknowledge that, you know, they don't want to point it out to themselves because I feel like they're afraid that they will psych their own selves out. I think they are counting on you to wait for them. They're counting on you to be patient and calm and to still be there. And I feel like, in a way, if this person didn't let the relationship fully get off the ground, that might be a reason why they did that. It's because they almost like don't want to hurt you, don't want you to get super upset, because then there's always this thought that, like, oh, I might come back around. So if I don't have a messy breakup yet, then maybe they'll be more open and more receptive to taking me back in the future. Like, there is this sense that of this, like I said, safety around you, like predictability, like, oh, it's okay, pile two isn't going to leave me. Pile two is going to be there. I know they will, which again, I think is really beautiful when someone has a sense of safety. But what I don't love is the maybe like the just kind of entitlement, or the expecting you to just stick around and wait for them endlessly. Like, I feel like this person is saying, like, listen, I'm going to work through myself and then I think I'm going to come back. But it's also kind of like low-key a little rude. You know, it's kind of like that friend you have that's always late to show up to dinner, and they just assume you're going to be waiting there for them. And it's like, on one hand, I'm glad you feel so comfortable with me that, like, we're besties and you know you can be a little late and you're not going to be sending me a panic text. But on the other hand, this is kind of rude. I don't really want you to just expect me to just be waiting there ad nauseum. So that's the one thing I don't like. I feel like this person is maybe acknowledging as well that they're wanting to, like, date around, see what else is out there, see if they can feel this way with anyone else, which again, I also feel is disrespectful, but they're almost like, but I know I'm not going to feel that way about anyone because I always come back to you. So I don't know. I don't love that aspect, but let's get some of these cards and see how this person is feeling about pile number 2. So we got Fool's Embrace, transmuting pain. Again, this person is definitely working through a lot of pain, a lot of their own issues. As I've said a bunch of times, like, I feel like this has really prompted them to maybe do some shadow work, or maybe realize their kind of dark side. And I feel like their higher self is definitely working on that. We also got Magician's Sword, confidence in your magic, the further gate, bold step forward. I don't know why I can't say that. And perfect storm, the courage to step into life. And finally, a tidy house. So again, all these mentions of houses, homes, like I said at the jump, I just feel like you guys really feel like home to them. You feel like they're safe place, soft place to land. But I hate that sometimes they just take that for granted, and they just think that you're gonna be there forever, and I can come up to you on the astral plane even if I'm dating someone else. I'm still thinking of you, and that's all that matters, when it's like, no, being in the physical realm matters a lot too. Waking up next to someone matters. You know, getting to hold hands with them matters. Getting to text them every night matters, or talk to them every night matters. Not just, oh, well, at least they're thinking of me on the astral plane. But sometimes people, you know, I feel like it's like, they're trying to say, like, you're the one who really matters to me. Even if I'm dating around with others, you're the one I come back to. You're the one I care about. But I feel like for you, you want something more of a connection. And I feel like this person is almost more willing to distract themselves with people they can feel more like, less threatened by. Like, I feel like in a way you feel so complete to them. You feel so intense to them. You feel very safe to them, but also like very enveloping. Like, you feel like this big warm hug, but a hug that would like take over their whole life. A hug they could just disappear into, and it scares them. So it's almost like, let me go into these like smaller hug situations, like a side hug in comparison, instead of a bear hug, a side hug, a just kind of like handshake kind of relationship that's not that deep, not that intense. And those I can feel in control with. Those I'm in no threat of like really getting deep and losing my emotions and caring and coming out with my heart broken. And that's more what I want at this time in my life. And then they're kind of saying like, oh, I'll circle back later. So don't you worry, because I'm coming around later and I'll be there eventually. Just let me sow my wild oats, or let me be in this relationship, and I'm thinking of you, so don't worry. And I feel like you probably aren't okay with that. Yeah, this person is a little self-centered, I'm not gonna lie. So for some of you guys, I feel like if they saw you dating someone else, like they would truly be so shocked. They couldn't even believe it. They would be completely thrown for a loop and like beside themselves. Like, what? How is that even possible? Because literally in their mind, they think that they're like the only game in town for you, and that you're just sitting there waiting. Like, what you guys have is so special, so you'll wait, and they can kind of act a fool, and then they can come back later. Yeah, I don't love that part of it. But I will say, I do think they do have feelings for you, and it's almost like they're self-sabotaging, or they're just being a mess because they feel like they can act up with you because they do have such trust in you. And it's beautiful that they trust you, but I just wish this person could act a little bit better and maybe have done the shadow work before they met you. But that is what I have for you, pile 2. I hope it resonates. If you want to see more of my content, head on over to my Patreon, where I have over 90 exclusive readings you'll only get access to when you sign up for Patreon. I just posted a reading all about what people have realized about you, what they've come to realize. And there's so many other readings. There's love, career, soulmate. Like I said, the next one I'm posting is all about your past life connection with this person, twin flame. What are they to you? We're going to get into that, how you knew them on the astral plane and whatnot. So if any of those topics interest you, or you want early and ad-free access to all my YouTube videos, then you can head on over to Patreon, and the link underneath the timestamps in the comments in the description to join me over there. Also, if you're interested in booking a private session with me, you can do that at my website, briarrosetarot.com. Whether you want me to pull tarot for you, read your astrology, channel for you, whether you want to do a pre-recorded reading or a live session, you get to really customize the reading, so it's perfect for you. So like I said, head on over to my website if that's something you're interested in, briarrosetarot.com, and link for that is in my description. So thanks for watching, guys. I'm sending you so much love and light, and I will see you again very, very soon in another reading. Take care, guys. Bye. Hey, pile 3, welcome to your reading. Let's get into your cards and see how this person feels about you. Okay, so we got Golden Palace. How does this person feel towards pile number 3? Sacred Pool. Encouragement. And let's get one more for pile number 3. How does this person feel towards pile number 3? Sad Embrace. So I don't know if you've been in separation from this person or something, but it does feel like they are a little bit sad and picking up on some sadness and also some really deep emotion. Like, I feel like this person really cared about you and almost feels like you're a miracle, or you're sacred, or there's something spiritual between you guys. Like, it's not just an attraction, it's not just a hookup, it's not just a crush. It's like, wow, this is so different, and there's something on the astral plane, even if they wouldn't put it in those words. You know, sometimes if someone's not in the spiritual community, they might not say, oh, they're my twin flame, my soulmate, but they might say, you know, I don't know what it is about them, or I felt like I always knew them. Or they might not say, yeah, I knew them in a past life, but they might say, it's so weird, as soon as I met them, like, I fell in love right away and I felt like I'd known them forever, you know. Or they might say, instead of, yeah, we talk all the time on the astral plane, they might say, I don't know, I can't stop thinking about them. They just come into my mind all the time. You know, so it's different ways of explaining the same thing, which is that I think this person really feels this deep connection to you and really feels very different around you than they do with anyone else. Like, it's like this gravity that you guys have with each other, or this, wow, this is rare. Like, I feel like this person, I'm hearing, I haven't been around that long, but I've been around long enough to know this is rare. I don't know why they said that so clearly, but I heard that in my mind so clearly, that something about I haven't been around that long, or maybe they're not a super old soul or something, I don't know. But I feel like it's almost like this person has dated and they thought they were dating and they thought they had other experiences, but when it compares to how they feel about you, like, it's completely and totally different. It's just this very different feeling. And I feel like for them, they, you know, they also, in a way, like root for you and want to see you do really well. But then there's also this side to them that I feel like they kind of freak out at the idea of you leaving or the idea of you forgetting them. There's this sense that like they see you as so perfect and so amazing and so thriving that I feel like it really bothers them, the idea that you would have something else going on in your life and like not pay attention to them or not think of them. The fact that they could imagine you, you know, one day moving on or being distracted by other things. There's almost this expectation that they love you more than you love them, or that they care about you more than you care about them. And I am getting a message that for those of you guys where this is just a crush or this person never actually stepped forward to confess their feelings for you, they feel like they're delusional and crazy. Like they really feel like it's a completely one-sided crush. And what is the word? Unrequited love, where you don't feel anything back. I feel like they also think of you as someone who has so many suitors, so many admirers, or I don't know if some of you guys are already in a relationship or something, but there's a very strong sense of like defeat with you, or almost like it's just a dream. It can never happen in real world. So I could definitely see for some of you guys, if this person has not approached you, that may be why. If this person is in a relationship with you, it may just be that every day they're like, I can't believe this. I'm so in love. I feel so deeply. I didn't know a love like this could exist. I'm hearing that song that's like, I never knew love like this before. It's like a 70s disco song. I'm not going to try to sing it, but yeah, that just popped into my mind so loudly. And I feel like for them, it's like, you know, it's kind of like I'm seeing that moment in like a movie when like it was filmed in black and white and then it changes into color, like in The Wizard of Oz when she goes to Oz and everything turns into color. Like it's like that. Like I feel like this person had thought they dated, they thought they had other relationships, they thought they had experienced love, but really how it is with you is so different and so much more intense. And I feel like this person, again, there's a thought for them because I feel like they've never experienced this level before, that they just think, maybe I lost my mind. Like maybe I'm crazy because I can't stop thinking about pile 3. Maybe I truly have become a psycho and like I'm mentally ill because it's not normal to think of someone this much. It's not normal to feel this connected to someone. And there is this fear that it is one-sided and that you would be like, excuse me, if they ever brought their feelings to you, you would be completely like weirded out and like, okay, you're the only one who feels that way. No, I don't think of you like that. Like, I also feel like if you guys are very physically attractive, that may work against you in this case, because it may be that that really intimidates this person and makes them convinced that like, yeah, of course, I think I'm in love with her. Probably everyone feels that way. Look at her. Like, of course, everyone probably thinks they're in love and she doesn't even care about these guys. And I'm just another one of the guys, one of the delusional guys that like becomes obsessed with this chick, or vice versa. If you're a guy, you know, she probably has all these girls into him and like I'm just another one on the list that like falls in love with this guy and he's probably a player. There's this certainty that like you have lots of options, so why would you notice them? But I feel like their mind constantly comes back to you. And again, I think this person, they're mentioning, I don't know if you guys are shy or you just haven't given them many indications of interest, but I really feel like this person feels like they're alone in it and they're kind of calling you out and saying like she hasn't shown anything. I feel like this person kind of goes back and forth in their mind between moments when they are like, no, we do have a connection. No, I did feel that. No, I know she was looking at me. But then they go back and they think, like, bro, you're crazy. And they might bring it up to their friend and say like, hey, like, you know, me and I don't know, like Stacy have been talking during class and I don't know, like maybe I'll ask her out. And maybe their friends might say, Stacy, like she's really hot. She probably talks to lots of guys, you know, like, bro, you don't have anything. You barely know her. You guys just have math class together or whatever, or you guys work together. Like, yeah, that's really inappropriate. And honestly, she probably is dating other guys all the time. You know, there's this vibe of like this person talking themselves into it and out of it. Like on one moment they say, you know, I'm going to go for it, I'm going to try. And then they're kind of like a logical mind takes over and they start thinking, oh my God, that would be the most embarrassing thing ever. If you are in a relationship with this person, just know that they love you so much. And I feel like they almost have to hold themselves back from showing you the extent to which they do love you. Like they really care about you, and almost like holding themselves back from mentioning future things. You know, like they might think about like, oh, when we have kids one day, but then they don't want to tell you that because they don't want to scare you away. So they might just, you know, if you're like, oh yeah, this is a picture of my baby cousin, isn't he cute? And they want to say like, yeah, and you know, when we have our kids, but they're like, oh my God, I've been dating them 2 months, they're gonna think I'm a psycho. So they just instead say, yeah, it's really cute, you know, or whatever. I feel like this person kind of doesn't want you to know how down bad they are for you and how much they care about you. But I do feel like they feel like it's really sacred and really special what they have with you. And it's kind of made them realize that other relationships in their past just weren't the real thing the way they have the real thing with you. I feel like they also worry a lot about your reactions to things or about your impressions of things. Like they would never want to disappoint you. They would never want you to be like, oh, that's lame. Or, you know, if you say, you know, oh, thanks for bringing me the latte this morning, but I don't know, it was kind of like, it didn't taste that good. I don't know, they didn't maybe use as much sugar this time, but it's kind of bitter and yeah, I didn't like it that much. That would like destroy them, and they'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, and next time I'll ask for extra sugar. And it would be like something they would make a note of in like their phone, like ask for extra sugar for the latte. But I feel like it just, like anything you would be disappointed in them about, like just really upsets them. Let's get into some tarot cards for you, pile number 3. How does pile number 3's person feel about them? How does pile number 3's person feel about them? How does pile number 3's person feel about them? Let's see. We got the Knight of Pentacles. This one is the 6 of Pentacles and it is reversed. The 3 of Cups. 2 cards. The Ace of Pentacles and the Magician. And let's see. Well, that didn't come out all the way. Okay, this one did. The Ace of Wands. So I feel like they're also really attracted to you, and it's almost like they don't want you to know how attracted they are with you, because they don't want you to think that they're like just in it for the physical, or I feel like it's almost like a fear of scaring you off, maybe because they are so attracted to you that they're afraid that if you really knew how much they are attracted to you physically and how much they physically desire you, that you would be a little bit like freaked out. Like you'd be like, oh my God, you think of me like what? You think of me like that how many times a day? So I feel like they kind of like hold that back. Or maybe, like I said, if you're in a relationship with them, maybe they kind of like don't want to like exhaust you. So they might not show you how do I say this so it's like okay for YouTube. You know, they might not show you all the times they're really attracted to you and would like to be physically close with you, because they're like, yeah, I don't want to, again, exhaust them or scare them away or freak them out. So I'm just going to kind of like play it cool with them. I'm just going to kind of like be a gentleman or a lady around them. But I do feel like they are very attracted, very turned on by you, like so much of the time. It's like you're just, woof, they're a type. Like you are definitely their type. They're definitely attracted to you. They definitely get turned on just by seeing you do the smallest of things, the tiniest things. Like it just does it for them. And I feel like for them, it's almost like they can't get enough of you. It's almost like they just are drawn to you over and over again, but it's not just physical. And again, I feel like that's what they're afraid of, is that you might think, oh, so they're just physically attracted to me, so they don't really care. And they don't want to scare you off in that way. They don't want you to think that, you know, for them, it's just a physical connection or just another hookup or whatever. So I feel like they might hold off on that or not fully show you all the times they're attracted, because they definitely want to like not overtax you, I guess, in that way. I don't know how to explain, but like not overburden you or make you like freaked out by like, wait a minute, this is too much. Like, or make you think, because sometimes, you know, if someone's really attracted to someone and maybe all they do together when they spend time is sleep together, they might think, oh, that's all they want from me, you know? So it's almost like this person has to like try to make themselves go slow and show you other intentions so that they're not just coming on too strong. Or like a guy who has a crush on a girl and he's, you know, flirting with her at a bar or something, you might not want to come on so strong and like, you know, try to kiss her within a few minutes of meeting her, even if that's his first instinct is like, wow, I'd love to kiss her. And that's kind of normal. When you're really attracted to someone, you kind of might know right away, woo, I'm attracted to them, like, wow. But you don't want them to think, you know, oh, that's all I care about for them, or that, you know, I'm only interested in a physical connection. So you might hold off and be on your best behavior and try to talk to them, even though you already know, like, oh, wow, they're really cute and I want to make out with them right now, but I can't do that because I just met them, you know, an hour ago. So I'm going to like keep the conversation cordial vibes. You know what I mean? So yeah, I feel like they are very, very attracted to you, but they kind of do their best to not just have that be the focus or not have that be their overwhelming way that they approach you. We also got the Three of Cups. So they may worry about you dating other people. I also feel like there's a vibe of this person worrying about themselves dating others and your reaction to that. If this is someone that you're not in a direct connection with, like you're not dating them, whatever, they may be dating others and worrying about you finding out. And I feel like if they are dating others, again, this person kind of doesn't know how to sometimes approach you or how to even take their connection with you. Like, I feel like it feels so different with you that sometimes it's like, I don't know what to do about this. I don't know how to approach. Maybe they feel a little impotent to like switch things or change things because the connection with you is so strong that sometimes it like might paralyze them or make them freeze up in a way that maybe they don't feel with others. Maybe with others, they can feel confident because the stakes aren't as high. Like if they mess up on the date with someone else that they don't care as much about, then they're not going to worry as much. But if they mess up and do something stupid on the date with you, I feel like that would really bother them. That would really stay in their mind. So I feel like in a way, if this person isn't approaching you and is dating others, it's almost like they don't know how to take the connection with you. And there is also that fear that they're being delusional, that you don't return the same feelings. And I feel like this person wants, like their higher self kind of wants your higher self to know that even if they're dating other people, like it's almost like a waste of their time. And they're not necessarily dating these people because they see a long-term future the way they do with you. But I also feel like for some of them, they are scared of the intensity they feel with you. Again, if you're in a long-term relationship with people, with this person, that may not apply. It may just be that this person doesn't want you to worry about exes, and they want you to know that if they did have exes, and maybe you sometimes bring that up, like, wait a minute, so that girl you dated, did you take her to that restaurant, whatever, and they want you to know that whatever they felt with that other person does not compare at all to how they feel about you. What they have with you is so different and so separate and like couldn't even hold a candle. So they kind of just want to make that clear to you that like you definitely don't need to be worrying about this, and it's nothing for you to be concerned about. It's nothing for you to freak out about. And like you're good. Basically, you're good with that. But yeah, I feel like for them, it's like, honestly, some of the other people around just seem like nuisances. Like I almost feel like this person used to have more patience, or like they used to enjoy more when they would date. If they are still single now, you guys haven't committed to each other, they may still be trying to date other people, but now it's like a freaking bore to hang out with other people because they constantly think of you. And they constantly have this depth with you that they don't have with others. So in the past, they might have been able to go out and date around and really enjoy and have a great time and be wild and like footloose and fancy free and just enjoy themselves. And now they find themselves just missing you so deeply and not being able to get you out of their mind. So it's almost like a complete waste of time for them to try to date anyone else, or for them to try to distract themselves by going out to the nightclub or whatever. But there's some energy with them, almost some people trying to make you a little jealous, because I feel like that's their way. Like, because they think you don't care, it's almost this subconscious attempt to see, how do they really feel? Are they going to get mad? Will they text me? Yeah, not all of them, but I feel like some of them subconsciously, that's something they may seek out to do, is like they kind of want you to know, and they want to see if you actually care. Let's get into some more cards for you. Pile number 3. How does pile number 3's person feel towards pile number 3? How does pile number 3's person feel towards pile number 3? We got wishing well, unexpected visitors, this one says Dragon's Lair, Metamorphosis, and one more, Peaks of Joy. I feel like this person sees you as like a wish or a dream. If you guys had a connection a long time ago, or things, you guys have been like no contact for a long time, they definitely dream of getting back together with you, but that just seems so impossible. It just seems like they could never actually make it happen. I feel like they dream of you sending them like that text message, or reaching out, or contacting them, but there's a part of them that thinks that you never will, and that also that for some of them, and I think like spirit sometimes has to lump in a bunch of different readings into one pile, and maybe this is that pile, but I am getting a message for some of them, like if this has been a while, this person may have a sense that like you're never going to forgive them, or that you've moved on and you're thriving, and you just don't want them back. Like, there is this feeling of the Dragon's Lair card where why would they want to be with me? Or they're probably not even thinking of me. Or all the times I've thought about pile 3, if they knew that, they'd get such an ego boost because they couldn't care less about me. And they're probably absolutely thriving and just living their best life. So why would they even like give a moment of thought to me, you know? I feel like for them, their thoughts go back to you quite a lot, but there is some shame around that. If this was a no contact ex situation where y'all have not been in contact for a while, I am getting a sense of shame and pain and just like inner sadness, or like beating themselves up. Like, oh, you're such an idiot. Why do you keep thinking of pile 3? Why are you so dumb? You know, and like, they don't care about you. They left you. And also, something about you never forgiving them, or something about how you're done and they may have messed up, or they may be afraid that they messed up, and that you are not going to like turn the other cheek or turn a blind eye to whatever they did. So they are definitely kind of telling themselves that it's not worth the risk to reach out to you. It's not worth sending that risky text because there's no point to it. But I also feel like this person feels like, I'm hearing that line like, no one loves you like I love you. I think by the yes, but I don't know. But yeah, I feel like they feel like nobody can love you the way they do, and that whatever you guys had, they also feel like they see through you in a way that no one else can. Like, if you're posting on your socials, they may have a part of them that kind of rolls their eyes at you, not in a like mean way, but in a way of like, I know you, like, I know that like you're posting that photo, but you were actually feeling this. Kind of like how like when you know your siblings so well and they post a picture and you're like, oh, that's what they're trying to say. Or you kind of roll your eyes because you're like, they may post that they loved, you know, they had the best time at this like Mexican restaurant, but I know they hate Mexican food. So they may be saying that they loved it, but I know that's cap. You know, they can't even stand any spiciness. So they can be smiling there in front of their like chili relleno or whatever. I know I'm probably butchering that pronunciation. Relleno, I don't know. But anyway, I know they're lying. They didn't actually enjoy it. And it's kind of like one of those things, you know, like I feel like they know you, and they sometimes get a kick out of seeing the things you're doing, the things you're up to, because there is this kind of like nostalgia or wistfulness, or like, come on, I know you better than that. Let's get into some of these cards for pile number 2. Let's see what cards we're going to get for pile 2. We got forgiveness, freedom, peace, and beauty. They definitely see you as very beautiful. Let's get one more. Psychic abilities. Yes, they feel very connected to you on the astral plane. I also feel like they're saying that you were the one who wanted your freedom, or you were the one that wouldn't be tied down. And there was this sense that even if they sabotaged something for the relationship, that you were the one that deep down inside like wanted to be on your own or something like that. Like, I feel like this person had a really strong feeling that they couldn't tie you down, and almost like they would never be good enough for you, I guess, or you would never have fully settled with them, and you were always going to be like on your own, or you were always going to be so independent, and you would never fully like give in to them. And I feel like that really excites them on one level and makes them drawn to you. But on the other hand, it also kind of freaks them out. And there's kind of that part of them that doesn't resent you for it, but is like, hey, don't get mad at me. Like, I'm not the one who chose this. You chose this. Even if you weren't the one and they never asked you out, I feel like deep down inside, they have this feeling that you crave your freedom. You like to be on your own. You like to do your own thing. And you're kind of hard to tie down. You're kind of hard to really lock into place. And you're always going to be that way. Or even if you were in a relationship, maybe that you're the type that always wears the pants or never fully gives in or is always maintaining their own identity. And I feel like in a way, this person really wanted to like fully merge with you. Like, they wanted more of you than maybe they thought you would be comfortable giving. And they sense that with other people as well. Like, I feel like they feel like, hey, good luck dating pile 3. Because you know what? They are never going to be that kind of person that just gives everything of themselves to a relationship. And I feel like that they kind of are laughing about it. Like, it's like pretending it's a joke, but deep down it makes them sad because they did want to merge with you all the way. And I feel like there was this sense of, again, being afraid that they're not good enough for you because you wouldn't actually want that in the way they wanted it. And it's almost this feeling that they wanted a lot more than you. Maybe they never stepped forward towards you directly, so they maybe you never outwardly rejected them, but that was a vibe or a dynamic between you of them wanting more than you did and you always being independent. Let's get some of these cards for pile number 3. How did pile number 3's person feel towards pile number 3? How did pile number 3's person feel towards pile number 3? We got the cosmos, creativity, vastness, the well watcher, wisdom, power of the divine, the diamond dreamer, material wealth, true prosperity, the eyes of beauty, positive expectations. What is this? It says positive expectations, clarity. Yeah, and look how many cards we have that reference beauty. Like, this person really finds you so physically attractive. Like, they are just, whew, you are definitely their type, and also very creative and also very like drifty, dreamy, doing your own thing. You're not sitting around waiting for that text or that call. Like, you seem like you march to the beat of your own drum, and this person also really respects that about you. Like, they respect the fact that you're not, maybe they feel like someone else would have cried or begged, or like this person, I'm getting the vibe that they're like a catch and they probably have other people pursuing them. They have probably a lot of other people who like wish they could be with them, but it feels like you turn them down, or you wouldn't put up with their normal BS that worked on everyone else. You kind of refuse to accept their bad behavior, and instead you really like made them live up to something. You really made them kind of like realize their own flaws, or realize things that they had been doing in the past, or crutches that they had had, or ways they had of getting by in the past that maybe worked on other people but wouldn't work on you. Like, I feel like there were things you turned down that other people would have been more than happy to accept. There were things that you said no to that someone else would have been absolutely thrilled to put up with from this person. So yeah, I think for them, that really brought a lot of respect out of them for you. And again, a lot of connections about psychic psychic abilities, about the divine. I feel like they still feel super, super connected to you on the astral plane. And it's almost like if there is a no contact situation happening here, this person thought they were going to get you out of their system a long time ago. They had no idea that even after all this time, they would still be thinking of you. That has really thrown them for a loop. What cards are we going to get for pile? Wailing Tree, reconciliation. Yes, they would love a reconciliation. And I'm hearing they would love to bump into you randomly. Like they would love to have that random meeting at the coffee shop. Ooh, covenant, sacred contract, maybe possible soul contract here. And by the way, I either already posted it or I'm going to post it imminently, but on my Patreon. I'm going to be covering soul contracts, what soul contract you have with this person. How do you know them on the astral plane? Did you have another lifetime together? We're going to get into that topic on Patreon. And the video should be already up by the time I post this. But anyway, yeah, or it's going to be right about it to be posted. But we're going to go into those soul ties that sometimes you feel with a person and whether it exists between you or not. So we got stars in the sky, limitless possibility, and go to my Patreon if you want to see that. A link underneath the description, of course, or link underneath the timestamp in the description and the comments. Horseman, Herald of Change, Sky Dancers, Surrender. I feel like this situation has taught this person a lot of surrender. It has really taught them to accept things that are out of their control, because I feel like this person is so used to kind of like winning with everyone else, or they're not used to being rejected, that this has really taught them how to like accept defeat in a way. And I do feel like they felt that soul tie to you, whether they had the words to express that, whether they would know to call it a soul tie, a twin flame, a soulmate, a past life connection, probably not. I don't know. It depends on the person, but I feel like they really felt so much more deeply drawn to you and magnetized to you than they felt with anyone else. I feel like for them, it has been bittersweet seeing time pass between y'all, because honestly, for the longest time, I think they always thought that you were going to send that text, or that you guys were somehow going to run into each other, or that y'all would get magically back together. They always thought that there would be some way, because they couldn't feel this strongly and not have it work out. And it has been very bittersweet and difficult for them to accept that that might not happen, and that the time you guys spent together may actually be over, or, you know, you might not be interested. You might have moved on with your life. I feel like that really drives them crazy, and they kind of don't know how to take it. Like there's a big part of them that thinks this can't be the end. Like it really can't end like this. Come on. Like someone's going to come out and admit that this is a prank show, and that we're actually secretly married, and that we've been together this whole time and it was all just a dream. You know, that's how drawn to you and connected to you this person still feels. And they almost feel like even if you are dating someone else, or if they're dating someone else, like those aren't even legitimate relationships, because what you guys had was so different and so special that like anything else, any kind of other dating situation is just like a pale comparison, and it's not the real thing. So yeah, that is what I have for you, pile number 3. So if you want more clarity on this situation, like I said, you can head to my Patreon, and I either already posted it or will be posting it imminently. But it's all about your past soul ties, and do you have a soul connection? Is this a twin flame? What was the connection like in other lifetimes? What's the purpose of this soul tie? We're going to get into all those topics. I also just posted one all about what people have realized about you. There are over 90 exclusive readings you'll only get access to when you sign up for Patreon, and you also get early and ad-free access to all my YouTube videos. So there's a ton of different topics to go through, a ton of content to see over there. If all that sounds good to you and you want to sign up, head to the link underneath the timestamps in the comments in the description and join me on Patreon. Also, if you're interested in booking a private session with me, you can do that at my website, briarrosetarot.com, whether you want a half-hour or a full hour-long session, whether you want me to pull tarot for you, read your astrology, channel for you, do a combination. You can customize your reading so it's perfect for you, whether you want pre-recorded or live. Anyway, if you want to book, go ahead to my website, briarrosetarot.com. Link for that is in my description. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm sending you so much love and light, and I will see you again very soon in another reading. Take care, guys. Bye.